Hello everyone, my name is Rodolfo Yan and I will be presenting the introduction video for a MobileJudge application for FIU in the spring of 2016. Our professor is Dr. Masoud Sajjadi. So our application is called MobileJudge. It's a web application that is built more for mobile devices to be the primary use. MobileJudge is an application that judges will be using to score students during the SeniorProject showcase. At the time we got the application, it lacked a few features, um, one of which was the ability to accept or reject grades, view on update user profile page, the ability for admins to filter email selections, social media account linking, pagination on all grades, export grades and judges, and import students and manage their information. Um, this is the detailed view of our schedule throughout the semester and the activities we perform during the time. So our user stories were link social media account, unlinked social media account, accept or reject judges' grades, create a profile, email search filters, export grades, manage students, manage judges, manage the list size, and checkbox on the filter for people selection. So this is a use case diagram showing all the use cases we worked on and the users that can have access to these use cases, the actors that have access to these use cases. So our first use case is review grades. An admin has successfully logged into the system and judges must have already uh, graded the student as a precondition for this use case to work. Uh, once this is met, the use case begins when the admin clicks the Grades tab on the navbar. The system shall show the Students tab with the grade containing the student information. The actor shall click the traffic light icon at the top of to change the status of the student grades. The system shall modify the grades for the students currently being displayed and set them to the next state. This state can be accepted, pending, or rejected in that order. The system shall then refresh the information and the image of the icon reflecting the value of the set of students in that page. An alternate route for this use case is that the administrator doesn't want to change the status for the grades for all the students. He wants to change the status for only one student. He can click on the traffic light icon for one row for one student, and this will only change the grade for that student. And the system should complete steps 4 and 5 for the student that the icon was clicked. Another user case is manage profile. Another use case is manage profile. Once the user is logged in, the user profile information is loaded into the screen. The use case begins when the user clicks his profile picture or name, and the system should redirect the user to his profile page. Once redirected to his or her profile page, all the information will be added to be edited. The system will be able to save the new information changes, the new profile information changes, and the use case ends once the user clicks save. There is no post condition and no alternative course of action. Our next use case is manage list size. As precondition, the administrator has successfully logged into the system. The admin is one of the emails or people tab. So the use case begins when the admin clicks the list size combo box on the email or people view. The admin then clicks on one of the list size options, and the list size Our next use case is manage list sizes. As a precondition, admin has to be successfully logged into a system, and the admin is on the email or people tab. The use case begins when the admin clicks the list size combo box on the email or people view. The admin then clicks on one of the options the list is showing, and the size of the list then updates to only show the size that the admin selected. As a post condition, the list is now the size of the admin uh, that the admin selected, and the exception is that you got an error updating the list size. So unlinked account. Unlinked account has four preconditions. Once a user has to be successfully logged onto the system, the user is using the profile feature, an account has to be previously unlinked, and a checkbox will display a linked account. The use case begins when the admin clicks his name or picture. The system shall indicate which accounts are currently linked. The user shall click the icon for the account he would like to unlink, and the system will prompt with a confirmation alert. As a post condition, the account will be unlinked until it is relinked. An alternate route will be the database access will manually remove linked accounts. Our next use case, it's admin filters results in email wizard. Our preconditions are the admin has to be logged into the MobileJudge system, and the admin is on the refined search, which is the second tab of the email wizard. So the use case begins when admin types in search criteria in search bar and clicks on search icon. The system shall reload the student and judge model that match the search criteria based on name or email. The system shall add clear icon or a search bar, and the admin can click on the clear icon on the search bar. The system shall remove the clear icon on the search bar, and the use case ends when model has been properly updated with any changes by the admin. Relevant requirements there is none, and post conditions the model has to be properly updated with the filter apply, and the model is properly updated with the filter removed. An alternative course of action is the admin clicks on the previous button, and the system shall display a message warning the administrator that all the changes will be lost if he navigates back. If the admin clicks yes, the system shall display the previous view. For our next use case, which is called export grades, the precondition is the administrator has successfully logged into the system, and the use case begins when the administrator clicks on People button on the left side panel. The administrator clicks on the side button on the left right panel of that page. The grades are shown in the page. The administrator clicks on the Export button. Our next use case, it's export grades. As a precondition, the administrator has to be successfully logged onto the system, and the use case begins when the administrator clicks on the People button on the left sidebar. The administrator clicks on the Student button on the our next use case, it's export grades. As a precondition, the administrator has successfully logged onto the system, and the use case begins when the administrator clicks on the People tab on the left sidebar. The administrator will then click on the Students tab on the view that was shown. The grades will be shown for us in that page. Stop. Our next use case is export grades. As a precondition, the administrator has successfully logged onto the system. Our use case begins when the administrator clicks on the People button on the left side panel. The administrator then clicks on the Student button on the left right panel of that page. The grades are shown in the page, and the administrator clicks on the Export button. A small window comes up confirming the file to save. Then it will click OK, and the file is saved to a specific location in a CSV format. The use case ends when the administrator logs into Moodle and imports grade to the system. As a postcondition, the administrator is able to see the grades of the student in the model system. In step D5, the administrator has the option to cancel the request. Now, our next and last use case is adding a checkbox on filter for pupil selection. As a precondition, the admin has successfully logged into the system and the admin is using the Pupil tab. The use case begins when the admin clicks on the People tab as Select Students or Judges. The system shall provide a checkbox to the left of the Filter tab when selected students or judges. The actor shall click checkbox to have all the filters simultaneously selected or unselected. The system shall select or unselect all filter boxes and return the data accordingly. Use case ends when all filters have been applied or unapplied and actor exits the view. As a postcondition, the filters are simultaneously selected. All data has been returned accordingly. As an alternative course of action, the actor has the option of using the filters individually. Now, these are the sequence diagrams that represent the use cases we went over right now, which is review case, manage user profile, manage list size, the unlinked user account, the admin filter research, expert grades, and the checkbox. So our system is using a layer architecture design pattern, along with the business delegate and design pattern and a client-server architecture. This is a graphical representation of those design patterns. This is a graphical representation of the architecture of our application. It's using the presentation layer, the business service layer, with any device being in the presentation layer, whether it's an iPhone, a mobile, or a computer. And on the business server layer, you will have a server, and then that server will connect to the database, which is connected to the SeniorProject API. Here's a representation of our database. It's basically showing all the information that's being saved so that the application can perform as required. As for security, we're using OAuth authentication. We're hashing and salting the passwords and sanitizing any user inputs for increasing security. And also we're using token-based authentication called bcrypt. Now, here is a state chart diagram for export students. The administrator at a student page can export the students if the grades have been accepted. And the link will be shown that he can click on it, and then the grades will be exported to his computer. And then he can go back to the page he was at. Here's a state chart diagram for one of our use cases, which is called export grades, or students in this case. Here's a state chart diagram for one of our use cases in which the grades for the students are being exported. The sunny day test for this user story, it's to test if the administrator can click on the export button and save as a CSV file. The administrator has successfully logged into the system. The administrator then clicks on the export button. On a small window comes up. The administrator then saves the file with its default name, and then it clicks OK. The expected result is the file saved successfully. The actual result, the file is saved successfully. Now, for the rainy day, the test is to perform to see if the administrator can click on the export button and save as a CSV file. The precondition, the administrator has to be successfully logged into the system site. The administrator then clicks on the export button and a small window comes up. The administrator then clicks on the Open With button and the program select does not open a CSV file. The administrator clicks on the OK button. The expected result, the file saved successfully. but the actual result is that the file is not saved successfully because the program selected will not open the file. For the profile picture, if you click on the profile on the picture of the user, you will come up with a page that will show you all the information for the user. You can change the information if you have the password, and it will save it to the back end. Profile updated. So now, if you go to another page and you look back to the page, you see that it fetched the changes. Also, the accept or reject grades. So, in this page, you will only get the students, the project, and the grade status. This icon represents all the status present in this page at a time, meaning if you have a red and a green, you will get a red and a green in the icon. You can change the status for all the students at once by clicking on it. You can iterate and you will go to rejected, pending, accepted, or you can simply change the status for one student. It'll go to red, pending, or accepted. You can also click on the student and it'll show you a description of all the judges' grades and the status for those grades. Again, you can change the status for all the grades at a time, or you can change the status for one grade at a time, one judge at a time. And you can also go into more detail and then see there all the grades that that judge gave that student, and the status for those judges, and the comments and the values of the grades. You can change the value of the grade. You can give it a comment. And that should be it. And as you can see, it'll update the grade for that student. Now, since we have a green and a yellow, you will also get an indicator here of all the statuses present in the page at this time. Now, another feature that we worked on was the ability to filter how many students you can see, how many records you can see in the page. If you click on it, you can get 10 records, 25, 50, all. You can get all the records at the time. If you click on it, you get 50 records at a time. Another thing that we worked on was the filtering option. You can send emails to students, and you can filter what students you want to look for. For example, Andre, it will get Andre Villa and Andrew Mitchell. And you can send emails to those students alone, and the same applies to judges. If you go back, it will tell you that if you continue, you lose all the changes you've done. You're going to say yes, and that's how it works. Also, we worked on the export grades. If you go to people, in the students or the judge page, you can click on export grade, and it will download, as you can see here, a CSV file with the records shown in this page. If you open it, and if you have any accepted grades, the student records will come up here with all the necessary information. But right now we don't have any accepted grades for the students shown here. Also, one of the user stories that one of our students worked on was the ability to filter the information all at once, meaning you can get all the accepted, the dropped students, or the incomplete students at once by clicking on this checkbox, or you can simply go on one at a time. And this completes the introduction video for the MobileJudge application for the Senior Project Showcase for Spring of 2016. Thank you.